Good.
Hello and welcome. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. I'd like to thank our sponsors at Procyon Partners. Procyon, one of the top 50 fastest growing companies in the nation. They specialize in employee benefits, wealth management, and retirement planning. President Sean Rabinowitz, proud supporter of our podcast network and everything we do. Green Street Trust International, owned and operated by Rennell Jump and UConn legendary men's basketball player Jake Voskuhl. They specialize in tax plans for businesses large or small. They will save you money or get you a big fat return on your taxes. To schedule your free strategic tax planning session today, go to www.greenstreettrust.com. Pete Finch and the Finch Law Firm is located in Bridgeport, Connecticut. If you've suffered any type of personal injury, slip and fall, car accident, your mother-in-law ran you over with her car, your wife got angry one night and decided to stab you, the Finch Firm is for you. Pete has won legal battles all across the state of Connecticut. He will go to war to get every dollar you deserve in compensation. You just have to remember, in a pinch, call Finch or go to his website, thefinchfirm.com. Dynamic Human Performance is owned and operated by UConn legendary running back Andre Dixon. He trains boys and girls of all ages, all sports. He has a boot camp program 7 days a week, 6 a.m. You want to get in shape, you go to Andre. He has an athletic development program where he trains boys and girls in the sport of their choice from the ground up, helps them reach their full potential, be the best they can possibly be. Andre has sent boys and girls to college on scholarship for all different types of sports. To work with the best, he has a 5,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility in Hartford, Connecticut. Go to www.dynamichumanperformance.com.
All right, and here we are for Husky Talk-SNS. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully, and with me as always, former UConn star, captain. Now he is my podcast host, Sean Mulcahy. Sean?
What up?
Well, we've been waiting to do this for a while, and after many debates, apparently we didn't get what we wanted, which as far as the Giants trading back. But if you had to, before we go through the picks, if you had to overall grade the draft for them, how do you think they did?
The first 4 picks, I give them an A, straight up. We'll see what. Yeah, we'll see what happens with the last 3 picks, but or 2 picks. It's tough to those lower round guys, but dude, I was so happy with the draft. Like, I was happy after the Evan Neal Thibodeau draft, not ecstatic. And I wasn't ecstatic after this, but I was really happy. Like, I love both picks. I think we got really lucky.
I do too.
If we had done 10 mock drafts, you and I would have never have guessed this outcome that the Giants got. I would have thought either of those players, whether we might have gotten one, but I never.
They would have been gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was shocked too.
Great outcome, dude. Great outcome.
And it really screwed up everyone's draft board the way that this went.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure when it started, but teams started to panic, and then there were some picks made. Like there was a run on tight ends for a while. There were a lot of surprises. The one I wanted to ask you about before we get into this, which was a surprise to me, even just because Joe Fagnano's dad brought him up so much.
Yeah.
Ty Simpson going 13th overall to the Rams. That
Shocked.
blew my mind. Like,
Shocked.
I didn't see that coming. Apparently Sean McVay didn't see that coming.
No,
If you saw his reaction to it.
It was
if you
classic.
saw his interview.
Yeah, the interview
Wow.
with Kyle Brandt. Did you see the one with Kyle Brandt and Peter Schrager a day later?
No, when he tried to say that he was happy, or I may have. He tried to make up for it.
They put him on the hot seat. They asked him several times, several different ways of his reaction, and it's a great interview. It's a great job by both the questionnaires and then the answerer. Like McVay did a great job. Schrager and Brandt did a great job. That interview was awesome.
You know what? I read about it. I didn't actually see it. I read about it. And I read his answers because people were questioning his relationship with Les Snead, the general manager. And he's like, oh, it's never been better. We're on the same page. We know what we're doing. And, he apparently was elated with Ty Simpson. And it just, for a team that had the MVP last year, now I know quarterbacks can drop off a cliff at any time, and we've seen that happen with their quarterback play. They can fall off a cliff, and Matthew Stafford, he's been injury prone. I get that, but
and he's 41. What's he? Let's look this up.
He's 38. He's 38. He's still in his late 30s. I think he's maybe 38, turning 39, maybe.
All right, he just turned 38, so he'll be 38 this.
So my thing is, I think you reached for Ty Simpson.
Totally.
If you're that concerned, and I know they made a trade to get up for this. Next year's class is going to be better. So I think you would have been in a situation that some other teams had been in where, they took a quarterback last year and they didn't take one, they weren't able to take one the following year, or they're trying to build around him to give him a chance. And that always hasn't worked. So I didn't see him as the second best quarterback in the draft. I don't think he was on many draft boards. So I don't know what they saw in him to make him go. Like, I think they could have gotten him in the second round. I mean, this was a very, very poor quarterback class overall. Would you not agree?
Absolutely agree, dude. The other thing, I was happy that Pavia didn't get drafted because I didn't think he was worthy of a draft pick. But the Rams being so close to the Super Bowl should have totally drafted the best player available wherever and put him wherever, because they're not far off. It doesn't matter if it's offensive, defense.
No.
Put him in. And then
whoever you have on their board.
Then you could have. So Ty Simpson's, if Stafford gets hurt, Ty Simpson's still not game ready. He might be great in 3 or 4 years, but he's not game ready if Stafford gets hurt. Pavia would be better as an undrafted pick. You sign him after the draft, and if Stafford does get hurt, Pavia is so elusive. Like, he's like a flutie. Like, he can just go out there and play.
Yeah, he can run around. Yes.
It's harder for teams to prepare for Pavia as a rookie as opposed to Ty Simpson as a rookie.
Now, I will throw this at you because this is a debate myself and my illustrious podcast host, Frank Cristiano, has. He believes that if you are going to go with a dual threat quarterback, you need 3 of them, and you need 3 of them to run the exact same system. He said, if you have Lamar Jackson and then you have a backup and it's like Joe Fagnano, you basically have to have 2 separate offenses for them.
I agree.
He thinks that having something interchangeable, because your dual threat quarterbacks are going to take hits. They're going to run the ball. They're going to get hurt. It's better to have 3 of them than 3 different styles, because then you have to really adjust what you're running offensively, and that can be challenging.
Yeah, you want.
So that's my only argument with it.
Yeah,
because Pavia can't do what Stafford can do, right?
No, definitely not. No, but if you have to put him in a pinch as a rookie, just talking about the rookie season that's coming up,
absolutely,
he won't do great, but it's more pressure on the opposing defense.
He gives you a chance because of his athleticism.
Yeah,
because he
and
can run around.
Dink and dunk, like McVay's a genius offensively. Keep it simple, stupid. Just dink and dunk and have him do a bootleg here and a sprint out here. They always run the ball well. They always have a top running team. So that's
what he lives by. Yeah,
that's what and Sean McVay is probably thinking the way we are right now, as opposed to the GM. I forget his name.
Les Snead.
Les Snead. That was a genuine reaction, I think, from Sean McVay. They can try and say they secretly wanted it to play like that in hindsight to not give away the pick. Time will tell, but I think when you're that close to the Super Bowl, you would want a player, not a backup.
And it's so hard to get back to back as far as the playoffs and to the second or third round or NFC Championship game year after year. And he legitimately needs help offensively, whether you can get him another weapon at receiver, because Puka was hurt most of last year. Another tight end. I mean, they've traditionally gotten by with good running backs. Stafford has taken a beating back there. I mean, getting sacked and getting hit. I mean, I've never seen, I don't know, I can't remember if it was this year or last year against the Lions. He just got teed off on.
Yeah,
and that was my concern with him. I mean, he's 38 years old. You got a shot at this. You're in the NFC West, which was a very competitive division between them, San Fran, and Seattle, who won the Super Bowl. I mean, if you can make the playoffs, you have a chance against anyone because you're playing a tough competition, and I believe they have a difficult schedule. So that was my gripe. And the funniest part is Ty Simpson was at Syracuse University, just so you know.
Oh, my. For how long?
I believe he transferred from Syracuse. So that is another bungle of the Cuse. Yes.
Oh.
Well, so he's only a one-year starter, Sean. That's what pisses me off.
It's such a reach. It
reminds me of Trey Lance. Now, granted, Trey Lance got picked during a COVID-shortened year. He only had 4 game films from 2020, I believe. I think he started before that. But the 49ers traded everything to move up to get him. And I think he's on his 4th team. I mean, come on. Quarterbacks are an inexact science. There's no method to the madness. You don't know. You don't know what you're getting. I mean, Sam Darnold, 4th team, figures it out. Geno Smith, back to the Jets. After he had fixed things in Seattle, got a monster contract in Vegas. Vegas dumps him. Tua in Miami, monster contract, gets released. The largest dead cap money in the history of the NFL. Do you know what that number is, Sean?
It's almost like $100 million, right?
It's $99 million. They took a $99 million dead cap hit just to get rid of freaking. Now, they can spread it out over several years, but I mean, you sign the guy to a monster contract, you give up on him in a year, and it was a year when the receiver was hurt. I don't know how good Waddle did. The good receiver, the guy from Kansas City, who got in trouble. You know what I'm talking about? Who was with the Dolphins?
Yeah. Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. He had a dislocated kneecap. Mike McDaniel did all he could with Tua. I never thought he was a great pick from the start. And you can go back to Brian Flores, who didn't want him.
Yeah.
Which was part of the reason he got fired.
Right.
And, I remember they were technically tampering and were trying to get Tom Brady to come in.
Yep.
But he had concussion issues. Like, he's one concussion away from having to retire. So
you could say that.
Believe. Oh, you could have actually, yeah. And I believe he ended up at Atlanta. I'm not 100% sure.
You're right. He's there. He's a Falcon.
Which is even more ridiculous because, again, okay, we threw Michael Penix in there and he got hurt. So let's just, forget about him.
Yeah.
It just amazes me how quarterback development in these guys, I mean, they give up on them because they're not paying the monster contracts of the past. But all I think about is Phil Simms probably would have been cut in this era after 2 years with the way he was playing.
His first 5 years were very mediocre.
Horrible.
Yeah.
He didn't figure it out until 84, I think was his breakout year.
Yeah.
He was drafted in 79.
79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, fifth year.
I'm pretty sure like that. And then I think of Steve Young with Tampa first before he goes to the 49ers. And Bill Walsh was the one who saw something in him after I watched that documentary. Bill Walsh was like, I want him. I got him. So it blows my mind with some of the decisions. So we'll see what happens. But the first pick was quite a surprise that they got him at 5. Malachi Reed from Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
He was an edge, and we talked about this shoring up the pass rush and what they should do if they had the pick, if they didn't trade back.
Yep.
We talked about, maybe a receiver, maybe an edge, depending. You had talked about Reese if he was still available.
Yep.
I think he got picked by the Jets second.
Yep.
But Reed brings a different dimension to the Giants that I don't really think they've had since Uzi Umanora and Strahan they could possibly have on their hands.
Justin Tuck,
if Carter figures it out, I mean, and then, with Thibodeau, I mean, he really is a special guy, but I mean, they were very hesitant with Carter. Do you think Reed will be thrown right in there and be a day one starter or a rotational guy?
So Arvell Reese will probably be starting right away.
Arvell Reese, I agree. Yes.
Yeah.
Malachi Reed.
Malachi Fields?
Oh, isn't the Giants that okay? Did I get the name wrong?
The receiver from Notre Dame?
Is that who they took?
In the third round. So what round you talking?
Oh, I was talking about the first round.
They took Arvell Reese and Francis Mauigoa. The
Giants did.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I had it wrong. Okay. Yeah. That's who we had wanted was Reese.
Yes. Yeah. But we didn't think we'd get him. He was supposed to go number 2.
Do you think that he will be a day one starter?
Yeah. If they run a 3-4, I think it'll be Tremaine Edwards and Reese inside. And on the outside, it'll be Burns and Carter. And then a 3-point stance, it'll be Thibodeau, 95. The hell is his name? Roy Robertson Harris, and on one side, and then Thibodeau on the other, and then the new guy, Shelby Harris or Darius Alexander on the nose, or Marlon Tuiopo or Lika Futu or Sam Roberts. It'll be one of those on the nose.
Were you happy that they took a tackle with the 10th pick?
Ecstatic.
Yeah. I mean, they needed to shore some things up front. And then Fields, I was surprised that he was available.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think, did they make a trade to get him in the third round?
They did. Yes. So
they traded up to get him, right?
Yes. Yeah. So they gave up this year's fourth, next year fourth and fifth. Like they gave up a fair amount for him.
Yeah, that's what I remembered. And
Yeah.
I thought that it was worth it because he is the guy we talked about that gives Jackson Dart another weapon, which they 100% needed. And with the solid running game that they have, I was happy with it. I was really happy with it. And then, what you had talked about, I believe, sorry.
Well, here, I'll tell you this one. That Malachi Fields trade cost them this year's fourth, this year's fifth, and next year's fourth.
Oh, it's this year's. Okay. See, because I thought it was a lot to give up for him, but
so 4s and a 5 to get a third receiver.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. They're taking a chance on it, but I think that he is going to be a difference maker that they need offensively for Jackson Dart, and he's going to fit in well with a healthy Neighbors if they stay healthy. Yeah. And I really thought he was a really interesting pick for them across the board.
Yeah.
I really did. I thought he was a steal for them. Yeah. And then they took the corner, which I thought was a solid pick.
Loved it.
From Tennessee.
Colton Hood. Yeah.
Do you see him as a day one starter?
If you include the nickel, yes. I think he'll be the first rotational corner or the nickel back.
Yeah. Okay. Because he's a really good athlete.
Yeah,
and he's another one. Go ahead.
He'll be on the field because he'll definitely, since he's a high draft pick, he'll be on the field. He'll be on almost every special teams, and I'd be surprised if he's the nickel or worse. He could possibly start at corner, but he'll probably be the third corner. And I just see him playing a lot. He has so many good reports from different areas, which just solidifies more how legit he is as a player. So I'm all about him.
And they drafted, again, going back, the tackle they drafted was someone who you had mentioned that they should go after.
Yeah, I couldn't get the right, but
you talked about him.
I didn't think he'd be around for it. I figured he was going to be first offensive lineman taken. I didn't think the receivers would jump off the board the way they did. I'm just going back to the first round here.
They went fast.
So the Jeremiah Love Cardniels Tate picks threw everyone off. Threw everyone off. Everyone knew Mendoza was one of the Raiders, and about 75% of the people thought the Jets were going to take David Bailey or Arvell
or Reese. Right.
Most people said David Bailey.
Right.
So then Love and Tate go, and it's like, Reese is still around? Hell yeah. Like, obviously, we would have been happy with Sonny Styles, or we talked about a bunch of people.
Sonny Styles, yes.
We knew the tackle, Spencer Fano, he's not what Harbaugh's looking for. He's a little softer, but he's very athletic. CC Magoa or Francis Magoa is like a badass, like mauler. Like he's just some dude. You don't mess with them.
You don't mess with Samoans. They're tough picks.
Yeah, they have a different genetic makeup that is incredibly strong and tough. just being
They're
around.
natural hard workers.
Yeah, man.
And they're the nicest people in the world.
Yeah, but on the field, you do not want to get on their wrong side. Oh,
no. But that was a pick they definitely needed. Now, traditionally, O-line picks are safe. They are day one starters. Do you think he could be a day one starter?
Yeah, I could see. So if they get him in camp and move him into guard, obviously, I love it that he can play tackle well because Thomas gets hurt every year and Illuminor's getting old. He's played so well consistently. Illuminor's due to miss a bunch of time, and just him getting a new contract and coming back, I just feel like it's just going to happen. So it'd be good to have him as backup there. But I think he could either unseat either guards because they're not thrilled with Runyon.
No.
And the other guard spot, it was already up in the air with the guy that they brought in from Baltimore, but he didn't have a great grade out as a free agent, Daniel Falele.
No.
And then they're going to give Evan Neal a shot at that guard spot, Azudu. Yeah. I think they said Embo's going to stay as a swing tackle, and the other guy.
I like him. I don't know if he's a starter, but I like him.
And then you got
well.
Aaron Stinney, who's a solid backup, but it'd be shocked if he started unless it was injuries. They keep keeping Jake Kubis around because he's a mauler, tough guy. He just has got more consistent. And they have a new guy that they brought in to take Aaron Schlottman's position as backup center guard is Lucas Patrick. I don't know much about Lucas Patrick, so I don't know if he's a mauler or something like that. But I know Jake Kubis he just hasn't fully developed into a day one or a starter yet. So the guard positions are open up. I could totally see CC starting.
Just move him inside. See what he can do. I mean, he can't do any worse, right?
Honestly, and they'll know pretty quickly in rookie minicamp, and also they get an earlier start since it's a new head coach.
Correct.
So they're going to get a week advance and see how they like him there. See if he can take it.
I thought it was really good that they took an O lineman, and like you said, you said. Take 3 O linemen. They ended up taking 2 in the draft.
Yeah,
I thought that was really smart.
I was shocked and thrilled. I couldn't believe it. I was like, they're doing it. They're listening.
Yeah, I'm sure they're watching the podcast. Absolutely. Joe Shane, he doesn't have much else to do.
No,
he is watching the show.
Yeah.
Maybe he is watching the show. But no, I thought that. I mean, so many people graded their draft overall. They gave him A's.
Yeah.
They gave him A's.
Yep.
So were there any picks that you didn't particularly like from them?
All right. So it's always the same with the last 3 picks. They got that lineman from Illinois, J.C. Davis. They got the linebacker from BYU, Jack Kelly. They got that D lineman, Bobby Jamison Travis from Auburn.
Yeah.
So you're rolling the dice with those guys. Everyone is with those picks on their team. It'd be nice if this guy from Auburn, Bobby Jamison Travis, who's 6'3", 330, it'd be nice if he has a solid nose.
That's what they're expecting.
Yeah, Jack Kelly seems to be a Mika McFadden replicant. And he got noticed for his speed. I guess he runs like a legit 4.6 at 6'1", 240. So he could be a good special teamer and backup. And then J.C. Davis, the lineman, who knows? He looks like a guard, but
that's where you find your diamonds in the rough with the old linemen. You can find a 5th round or 6th round good, serviceable lineman. I just hope that's what they got with them. I just from reading what they have said about the Auburn kid, expecting him to fill in for Lawrence or, have a role playing position to pick up the slack from Dexter Lawrence. First of all, if you go by last year, you could have put a cone out there. If you go by a few years ago, okay, fine. Yeah. I get that. But to put that on a 6th round rookie, I just think it's a little bit high of expectations to have for him. Yeah. I think if he can come in and compete and, give you a series here and there, be a run stuffer, he's not going to be a great pass rusher, fine. I'm happy with that. If you can take on double teams and open up things for the linebackers, great. Let's do that. The only thing I read about him that was mildly negative was he struggled to finish his pro day at Auburn. Uh-huh.
Okay.
He was fatigued, but I mean, you're 328, and I don't know what they did for their pro day, so I get it. Yeah. The lineman from Illinois, he allowed, I believe it was 3 sacks all season, which isn't horrible in the Big Ten. Yeah. The write-up on him was, which I thought was hilarious. I read a few write-ups. The 2 of them said that he gives poor effort at times and doesn't finish. Oh. So if you're a 6th round pick, you got to be an effort guy. Yeah. You got to be, but that could be why he fell to the 6th round. And, he wasn't consistent. So if they can fix that up, I think he provides young depth, which they need up front. But, looking at it overall, I wasn't a huge fan of Slayton. I wasn't a huge fan of the Mooney signing. Yeah. I did not want them to take Jeremiah Love. My other guy, Frank Cristiano, he desperately thought Jeremiah Love was a difference maker, and they should have absolutely taken him if he was available.
I didn't want him.
I didn't want him either, and it's not a knock on him. Frank said with his versatility and all this, and I thought it was a shitty pick for the Cardinals.
Who's blocking for the no-name quarterback that they have?
Yeah, they're such a mess.
They go with Jacoby?
Like, why are you picking a running back at the number 3 spot?
They're going to give him 400 touches next year or this season.
Yeah, they're going to get him killed.
Yeah.
He'll be injured by week 4.
Yep.
There's no doubt in my mind he'll be injured by halfway through. Totally. Because they are just a dysfunctional organization and the definition of a dumpster fire.
Yep.
So that one blew me away. The Jets, passing. I mean, it just sucks when you need a quarterback, and if you take one, you're going to be reaching.
Yeah.
And Geno Smith, he's a great guy. Apparently, that's why he's lasted in the league as long as he has. I can't believe he's coming back to the Jets. That's surreal in my mind. He was hated in New York, and I hate to say resurrected his career. I don't think he completely resurrected it, but he showed that he was a serviceable winner. And they're bringing him back again. It's just another stopgap, and that's what I can't stand about them.
He wanted them to bring back another former Jet. Who was it?
Well, I know they met with Russell Wilson.
That was it. Yeah,
the other day. That blew my mind. Russell Wilson, another Seahawk. Yes. They met with Russell Wilson about the backup job. I'm like, guys, I get that I just thought they were stupid for bringing Justin Fields in to begin with.
Yeah.
Really, Justin Fields he's a disaster. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And if you look at the division overall, I believe we got the highest draft grades out of everyone. The surprise was, I believe Caleb Downs ended up going to Dallas right after us. I was surprised at that pick. That they would take a safety. Jerry Jones is normally, he used to be pretty smart with the draft. I didn't think they drafted great.
Yeah.
And they didn't get high grades for their draft. They got like B's all across the board. The other team that the dumpster fire is the Cleveland Browns. What do you do if you're the Cleveland Browns? Like, you still have responsibilities to Deshaun Watson.
Oh my God.
For another year before you can cut him. Like, they would take, I can't remember what the cap hit would be, but the cap hit would be astronomical if they cut him. Do you put him even in the mix to start?
No.
So you have him do what he did. I know he was hurt last year, but he would do like some indie drills, and they just didn't want to get him hurt, so they wouldn't have to keep him or pay him more.
Yes.
Okay. And then I was looking at some of the other teams. Well, I have to ask you about this, but I'm going to take a break before I get to it because this is going to be a fun conversation, and I don't want to.
Down south, we have Julius Williams, Jordan Harris, and the rest of the team of the Trench Mob. They train offensive and defensive linemen. They compete in 5v5 tournaments and college showcase camps all across the country. They have sent kids to schools like Florida, Florida State, Miami, Clemson, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, just to name a few. They have sent the highest percentage of kids who work with them to Division I schools on scholarship. To work with the best, go to trenchmobfootball.com. Ned Von Young runs the Fresh Fold Laundry Company in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, a high-end laundry service. You book online, put your laundry out in a clear plastic bag. They pick it up, wash, dry, and fold it for you in 48 hours. They also offer an expedited service if you need that as well. They have an online subscription model, weekly or bi-weekly, where you can get your laundry done that way. They offer deals for college students. So if you want your laundry done, you can do it in your own dorm. They have a pickup and now a delivery service. So you can have your laundry done without leaving the comfort of your own home or dorm room. To sign up, go to their website, my-freshfold.com.
All right. So the topic of the last couple weeks, Mrs. Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel.
Boy.
They are caught canoodling. I believe it was at a spa area, little suite in Arizona, I think it was. And wow, got posted to page 6. Vrabel comes out, says it's laughable. They were with groups, and they questioned the groups they were allegedly with, and they were like, "No, I don't think I was there." It was just the two of them. So Rossini gets fired, and Rossini had apparently been doing this with Vrabel since he's been with Tennessee for multiple years. And Vrabel goes to marriage counseling and is back at work after a few days. Now, do you see a potential double standard for how they treated Rossini compared to how they treated Vrabel? Or do you think the treatment was fair because she's in the media? She's a female in the media. She was in one of the top spots in the country for women. And she affected possibly some of the trade outcomes and trade values. You know, they mentioned the Julio Jones deal. They mentioned A.J. Brown with Tennessee. And her reporting could have affected favorable ways for Vrabel.
Yeah, so right off the bat, like, not getting too deep into it, on surface, there's definitely a double standard.
Yes.
But it's fine because the outcome for either is pretty much the same, which is the most important part because it's the family. Either way, both are destroyed. Not destroyed, but like...
Well, they're being dragged through the mud.
Yeah, and just put in terrible situations and just all that shit is just terrible. So there's that. Rossini, she resigned,
correct.
But she was fired.
Well, there was going to be an investigation, and they're calling for ESPN to do an investigation now of her reporting from her time there.
Based on what you said, it would be really interesting to see, the Senate hearing committee on the outcome of that investigation, because I'd like to see if it really did. I really don't think it did, because when you right down to it, guys in those front offices are just going to make the decision they want to make. But I'd be curious to know what information, if any,
she passed between.
She passed, yeah. Like I'd be curious to see, because then you'll know how much it would have influenced, if any.
I didn't think of that. You're right.
Yeah. It'd be great if you could find that out, because I really think in the end they could. I'm sure she'll be fine. She's more popular than ever right now.
Well, a lot of people don't think she will be fine. A lot of people are saying that her career is ruined. She'll never write again.
Well, she can always write. It's just a matter of if people will read it.
Well, if she goes the independent route,
and
is an independent reporter, independent, podcaster or whatever.
Like,
I think she has a following.
Yeah, like Kay Adams.
Yeah, I think she could do that. She could do that. But, it was not unknown, which is funny to hear. The reporter from the USA Today, I think her name was Chrissy Roberts. She said a few years ago when she was younger, she was invited to mentor under Diana Rossini.
Okay.
She turned it down.
Yeah.
Because she said it was known at the time how she may have had her sources, how she treated her sources, and she did not want to have anything to do with it.
So Vrabel's not the first guy?
Sean McVay could have been in there allegedly. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple guys that apparently were on this list.
So here's I just don't understand how, like, that would, I don't know. It's just weird how sex or sex, because that's the brass tacks of it down bottom, how that would lead to divulging of information. Like, I can
she's trying, listen, she's in a male-dominated world.
Yeah.
Trying to get ahead as a female reporter.
Yeah.
And how many top NFL reporters are females? There really aren't that many.
Well, there's more now than ever.
there's more now than ever, but if you did a percentage wise in comparison, it's still very, very low. And
in sideline reporters, it's very, very high.
Sideline reporters are different, not like beat writers. Sideline reporters,
yeah.
Sideline reporters, yes, fucking everyone.
So it's high if you're seeing their face, but it's low if you're reading their print.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what happened with Jamel Hill. I remember Jamel Hill, whenever they would have her on, she would dress like a dude would. She would wear like a dress shirt. She would wear very, very little makeup and everything. And then it was like in 2010 or whatever, somebody must have said something to her, like, you have to dress more feminine. And, she started wearing makeup and she started doing more and more to focus on her looks, because unfortunately, and it sucks and it's unfair, women have it 1,000 times harder than men do, not only in the NFL, but in any workplace for the most part.
Yeah.
Because they are consistently judged on their looks.
Yeah, that's fair.
They can't just roll out of bed, put on a pair of pants, go to work.
Right.
It takes them an hour to get ready to go to work, and everyone looks at them and they're judged by how they look. And it's regardless of the profession, and it sucks. I can see her being ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
I can see her wanting to be the best, and maybe ESPN devalued that or didn't, or undervalued her, and she wanted to prove a point, but we'll never know, because there's no confirmation of anything beyond a kiss that we saw in one of the pictures and the pictures of what came out a few weeks ago.
Right.
Tyler, the genius, claims that her husband hired a private investigator, and he was the one who took a lot of the photographs and nailed her. Because if you've heard her comments on her husband, they're not very kind. Have you heard?
Like historically,
Rossini? Yes. No. It's been recently. Like if you look up Rossini's podcast interview comments, she said like we barely communicate. It's just like hello and goodbye, and when am I going to see you? And like, we're going to be divorced by Christmas. Like, she smears the dude, which is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, she's hardcore. So this has been going on for a while. People think that Vrabel should be fired or forced to resign. And people are angry at Roger Goodell because this is not against the NFL personal conduct policy. And it's not. I mean,
of course not. Half the league would be fired.
It really would. I mean, the league would be fired. I mean, marriage overall, it's a failed institution. It's very difficult to stay married.
Yeah.
And, I can't remember. The sickest thing is Rossini named her kid Michael.
Yeah.
One son, Michael. So I think that you're right. I don't think there's a lot of sympathy for her right now. I think that, Vrabel is getting off easy.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyler claims that he had a heated conversation with Robert Kraft about it.
Yeah.
And he basically told Robert Kraft, don't throw rocks at glass houses. Or, what? And I said, there's a difference. Because what Robert Kraft did was technically against the law. Vrabel didn't break the law. Now, morality, yes.
So some Jet fan called into the radio, just killing the Patriots, and he was like, They're like, this is the world-class best store. Everyone loves this team. He's like, really? Deflategate, Spygate,
Yes.
Hernandez, Robert Kraft. Now you got this guy. Like, he just went on and on. And I was like, wow, the guy's got a point.
He's right.
Point.
He's right. He's right.
Not all of them. I forget all of them, but like he was knocking them off. I was like, oh my God, he's right. This team is horrible.
That's funny. And Belichick, he was no Prince, and Belichick's girlfriend went off.
Jesus.
Well, I don't know if you saw what happened to Chris Sims when he tried to talk about the subject.
No, what happened?
Chris Sims was on NBC's Sunday Night Football broadcast. He was on Mike Florio's show, which is NBC. And he was talking about Vrabel and Diane Rossini. And he said, yeah, this is the biggest topic going right now. I got coaches texting me. And Florio shut him down.
Really?
Florio was like, nope, stay on topic. And Sims is like, what? What do you mean? And he's like, stay on topic. 2 days later, Sims gets fired.
Really?
Yes. Look it up.
What?
He's replaced by Mike Tomlin. Yes. And they say that the Rossini comments had nothing to do with it.
No shit.
It's blasphemy that this happened. Yes, 100%.
So I love Phil Sims. I love Matt Sims.
Chris Sims, yeah.
Yeah, but Chris Sims, I think it's okay. Like, I don't love him. I don't hate him. Because he filled in for Boomer and Gio years ago.
He can be arrogant sometimes. He comes off as arrogant.
But that's quarterback. That's the quarterback nature.
Exactly.
Boomer can be. Phil can be. Matt doesn't seem it as much.
No.
I'm not too surprised he got let go because he doesn't bring that much to the table.
No,
he really doesn't.
No.
And on top of that, it's I'm sure it just
NBC overhauled everyone for their Sunday Night Football. They did. The
replacement is fantastic, so it makes sense. Like, if you have to ditch someone to get Tomlin, fine. Tomlin either way is going to draw so many people.
And Tomlin is allegedly being courted as a possible replacement for Vrabel.
What? Really?
Yes. They're saying the one thing the Patriots will not apparently deal with is a distraction.
Oh, come on.
So,
all they do is deal with distractions.
All they've had is distractions. But the reports that I've read from several people have claimed that if this continues to go on, that they won't fire Vrabel. They'll probably, try to force him to resign.
Wow.
But I mean,
it just brought him to the Super Bowl.
Again, I don't think you can do that. Now, if their team was 3-13 or 3-14, sure, they probably would have canned him.
Yeah,
it's an excuse to can him. If it were Aaron Glenn, he'd probably be on the streets right now.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Vrabel is a good coach, and what are you going to do? I mean, they're not getting divorced. Their husbands are sticking by them. Vrabel's wife is apparently. Rossini, I don't know, but I do think you're right. I think Rossini could make it independently. It is challenging, but I think she has enough sources, obviously, and enough of a following that because there's so many people saying that her career is ruined.
I don't think so, but she actually is good.
She is very good.
She is good. She was on Boomer and Gio too. She's been on there a couple times, and it's because we're Northeastern New Yorkers. She grew up in the Bronx, so right. We relate to her. We understand her. Her takes are similar to our friends' takes. And the way she kind of describes information is appealing. So I don't mind her. She was great on Boomer and Gio. I liked her. So I don't think her career's over. She could go.
I don't think it is either. I mean, it'd be different if she was P. Diddy or someone who had a felony charge. I mean, or got arrested. That's what I say. So I think she'll be fine. But yeah, that was that's been the topic most discussed. Tyler had a couple clips go viral because of it.
Oh, really?
Yes. We had close to 400,000 viewers for his one clip. Yes.
Oh my God.
It's on my Instagram. Yeah, I'll show it to you. But yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, it was my fault. Well, it's kind of both of our faults. I said that I called Rossini's husband a cuck, and Tyler said that her husband's a G because he hired a PI that took all these pictures. And
if that's true, that means the husband's intuition was correct.
Yes.
He is kind of a J.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was 100% wrong.
But you got to even get to that point in your life where you're like, I got to hire someone. Like, are you fucking serious?
No, I mean, it just, like you said, and that's what I hate about social media. And I do a podcast now with Erica Higgins about parenting in this generation. And we had a guest on. This dude is an expert. He is a family therapist, counselor from California, works with Silicon Valley billionaires, families, actors, actresses, families. He's one of the best. And he said that social media, electronics is going to be the downfall of our society.
I believe him.
Because of communication, because kids, COVID especially killed kids learning interpersonal communication skills. Cell phones, tablets, all that stuff is horrible when they just need to talk to each other.
Yeah.
And he said, parenting, one parent can't be a best friend while the other is a disciplinarian.
Yeah.
But he said that the fact that, if you're not directly communicating with each other, that's where the problems initially begin.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm curious to know about, because her job was demanding and she's trying to make it to the top. She was ambitious. Maybe she wasn't as cognizant of what was going on at home. Mike Vrabel recently married. I mean, two marriages with kids. And it's not like, it didn't look like they were going to run off and get married together.
Yeah.
But you're just curious how long it went on. And for Roger Goodell to sweep it under the rug kind of does concern me, because I didn't even think of it like you did.
It's like Steve Tisch at the draft. It's like, what's he doing on TV?
Oh my God. Steve Tisch. That's right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he's still going to have a role with the team.
I was like, what are they doing? You didn't even... John Mara's sick, so he wasn't there. And then Chris Mara was off to the right, like, working. So all you saw was, like, you didn't...
He's in the right. Yeah.
You recognize, you just saw Steve Tisch and, like, the coach. And Joe Shane.
He's not supposed to... Yeah, maybe he's on the island with Joe Shane. I don't know. And they just show him there, like, they put him up like a Christmas ornament. But, I mean... Yeah, we'll see what happens with this. I just, like you said, because of social media, I just feel bad for their families.
Yeah.
Because they're innocent in all this and they're being dragged through the mud. And that's awful.
No one likes
That's awful. That's it. But I do think with the news cycle, it'll pass. It'll pass.
Oh, it's
gotten better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Short.
If you had to just say overall, who do you think had the best draft out of all the NFL teams, if you could pick one, looking at it?
I know this sounds stupid, but I'm going to be honest. The Giants.
The Giants got one of the highest grades.
I paid most attention to it. They did things that I've been wanting them to do for years. They did it. And the way they did it on paper and old video seems almost perfect. Like,
well, we talked about the offensive line. We talked about a receiver. We talked about a pass rusher, and we talked about a secondary guy.
And they did
Those
it all.
were four positions that we thought were must need, most important spots to fill. I think they filled them. And I think they have the pieces now around Jackson Dart to have some success. Now, just quickly, the UConn guys, Skylar Bell, 4th round of Buffalo. Fagnano signed with Baltimore.
By the way, we picked the round Skylar got drafted in, and we picked being a free agent.
I know. Joe was listed as 7th round to a free agent, but I just thought the quarterback class was so shitty that he was going to be a free agent. I just don't. I think Baltimore's not a good landing spot for him for the same reason, like I said about Frank, what he said. You would basically need 2 different offenses because he can't do what Lamar Jackson does as far as the athleticism.
Yeah,
and they have a good backup, that Tyrone Henley, whatever his name is. Huntley, yes. So and I think traditionally they only keep 2. I don't even know if they keep 3.
They started allowing 3 without
without a roster spot.
Yes. So game day emergency quarterback. They're allowed to do it. Like they call him up Friday, and he's allowed to suit up because they know if a team goes through 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, well, then it's just funny that it's him and Pavia that both got signed. Never would have thought it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's Skylar. Then it was Pringle, Branch, who are 2 linebacker DB hybrids that got picked up. The kicker, the punter, also got picked up. And then my man, Lou Hansen, the tight end, got picked up by Kansas City.
Yep.
So do you think now Fagnano got a contract? I don't know if anyone else did. Skylar's going to be fine. I think he's perfect for what Buffalo does, and he'll have a chance to play. But the other guys, between Hansen, the kicker, the punter, and the 2 defensive guys, they got mini camp invites. So they have to go the long road. They invite 90 fucking guys to these mini camps. They sign maybe 1 or 2.
Right.
Do you think that any of them the kicker, I think, is good. He was a Groza award winner preseason.
I like Hansen because the Kelsey's last year.
That's what I said too.
They're gonna see him and go, "Oh my God, UConn didn't utilize this kid at all."
At all, yes.
Let's at least get him on the practice squad. But if he can special team it, let's get him on the 53.
And I know for a fact because talking with his dad and Dave, he was specifically learning to long snap. So if he was able to pick that up, I think he's a shoo-in. And I said the same thing. Everyone was saying, "Oh no, he went to Kansas City with Kelsey. You think he's going to replace Kelsey?" I said, "No." I said, but the load management on Kelsey has been very, very managed last year. Like he didn't play a ton of snaps until near the end of the season. Right. So they're a team like the Rams. I mean, the Rams had 4 tight ends at one point.
Yeah.
And I think Hansen was completely underutilized in the passing game. He can run routes. He can catch the ball well. So I think he has the best chance. Pringle and Branch, they're just guys. I hope they
two guys at that position.
That's what I'm saying. There's too many athletes.
Yeah.
I don't know how they stand out. The kicker, I think, has a good shot, and the punter, I think, could have a good shot because kickers and punters always.
Yeah.
He did a nice job. So, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Mini camps open up in a couple weeks. We'll talk about that, and I believe, everything else looks good. And UConn had their spring game for the first time in forever. So we'll see what happens there. And I don't think they're bringing any more guys in, but we're both happy with the Giants draft. We both think they scored an A and they got what they needed. So We'll see what happens there. So, All right, Sean Mulcahy, captain, former teammate, and NFL draft expert. Steve Cully, best podcast host in the universe. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges, throw them right